Brooklyn Independent Television.
Caught in the Act is supported in part by public funds from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs in partnership with the City Council.
Coming up.
He was a free man of color.
Irondale Ensemble project digs deep into history.
Someone's story hits you in your gut, and then you just want to write.
Creating theater from the complex story of Brooklyn's abolitionist movement.
No, I'm free now. They let me go years ago.
Inspiration.
Space, color, and the unexpected in the art of On Megumi Akiyoshi.
If it's disconnected, you don't see yourself.
A boy from Marine Park makes it into the prestigious Alvin Ailey II company, thanks to a lifelong dedication to dance.
And it's been a guiding force in my life that has always been there when I needed it.
And
so let's try that.
Snarky Puppy in rehearsal.
Started at that tempo because I know it's going to slow down.
And just what kind of music do they play?
Jafunkadanshin.
Jafunkadanshin. They're all caught in the act. Art in Brooklyn.
That's my name. No longer Margaret Baker. Got my masses baby in my arms.
So you get used to what it sounds like if you spread out a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't get up on top of the platform. Yeah, but you can put a chair where you want it so you can get some height. These wooden chairs should be good. Oh, okay, those two are okay. Yeah, look out for the instruments. Which one, that one or that one? The tall one. Could we try James Hamlet? So this is a guy who was, he was born free, but his grandmother had his papers. And he didn't have them, they were lost. She lost the papers, so he gets picked up. So this is his story. Eventually they raise money to get him back again. They arrest him, they nab him on the street and send him to Maryland. Yes. It's called Color Between the Lines. And it is the theater aspect or component of a much larger project that's going to be taking place over the next year or so, which involves three cultural institutions in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Historical Society, the Weeksville Foundation, and Irondale.
He was a free man of color. I said he was a free man of color.
It's about black and white abolitionists during the 1850s and a little bit before that and after that, working together or trying to work together to end slavery, to abolish slavery. And then the question comes in, so what after the abolishment of slavery? What then?
Well, Mr. Hamlet, you are a witness in a criminal case. We need you to come with us. They took poor James to Water Street and they arrested him. There was no criminal case, but there was Mr. Hamlet's race.
We were given the research first. And so you go home, you study the research, but then, oh my gosh, that's someone's story hits you in your gut, and then you just want to write.
Mr. Officer, why are you holding me? What are my charges? Explain so I can see.
And you just have this impulse to write about it. And that's where all of these pieces have stemmed from.
You are a runaway slave from Baltimore. We intend to return you to Mrs. Mary Brown.
And part of the reason why we're doing it in almost an entirely musical way is because a lot of times you have this kind of material, it could be very bookish, or a museum piece, so we really wanted to move away from that. So it's not like, here is this abolitionist, and here's a bunch of facts about them. We wanted to make it a little more theatrical, a little more interesting.
Say, taking the dust off.
I think it's a very unique way of approaching a dramatic evening that somebody today called it contra theater, because it doesn't, it's not naturalistic, it's truthful, but there are not scenes that happen with chairs and tables and all the real cinematic realism, but it goes to using primarily music. The piece is about 95% sung.
He's a long gone. He's a long gone.
Well, 2-3 minutes, that will catch my wind. In 2-3 minutes, I'm gone again. Well, my John said just before he did.
The company has been devising all these different musical pieces, using what we call pads. So what that is we take a bit of information to text that we read and discuss beforehand. Then we create an improvised musical accompaniment with the entire ensemble. So everyone's adding either a vocal trait, or they're adding an instrument, or they're adding percussive something to create a feel and style and sound for these different pads. And on top of those pads, we have this improvised singing. So it never goes fully into musical land. Nor does it ever sit in a very scenic text-based land.
Right, so to say what makes this play different than seeing any other play is that you can walk in and really not get, this is the beginning, middle, and end of the Brooklyn abolitionist movement.
I've been sent to retrieve you, and I'll get a healthy price from Mr. Baker and his wife. No, I'm free now. They let me go years ago. No, don't touch my children.
I was reading about how her and her children were kidnapped from the Brooklyn almshouse, and it just brought me to tears.
I ain't never going back. Babies screaming, children screaming, please, fell on deaf ears.
And I wrote a poem about it, brought it into the rehearsal, and I was like, hey, you guys, this person's story really impacted me. Can I share it with you? It was kind of like my therapy.
Heavy load, heavy load, heavy load. No, this ain't my home. No. Tending, shucking, cleaning.
I just really wanted to get it out and for somebody to hear my thoughts on it. And then it came from a poem to one song to another song. Right. Patrina helped me develop it, and now it's in the show.
Tell them I love them. I didn't get to say that when they were ripped from my arms. Tending, shucking, cleaning. Thank you.
My name's Michael Lee.
I'm Robert C. Wright.
Hi, my name is Justin Stanton.
Hi, I'm Bob Lanzetti.
Hi, I'm Mike Meyer.
Hi, I'm Chris Bullock.
G sharp, B, E. It's middle. Is that what you're playing? G sharp, B. Yeah. I started Snarky Puppy about 7 or 8 years ago in Denton, Texas, where I was attending University of North Texas's Jazz Studies program. I started the band with a bunch of guys that were in the same program. You know, basically we're just use this band as an outlet for creativity. We all play with it.
Musical influences. I think basically all of jazz music, a lot of Brazilian music for sure, and other world styles, pop music as well.
I started at that tempo because I know it's going to slow down. Okay. So I'm going to start it at a real tempo, and we're just going to keep that tempo. Okay. All right. So let's try it out. Let's try that. Okay.
Jafunka dancing.
Jafunka dancing is the best word we could describe because we used jazz, fusion, dance, and funk and tried to put it all in one word because it's kind of, even then, it's more genres that we play. We don't really like to categorize it because it's so broad and it's so versatile.
We just released our 5th album, which is entitled Ground Up, and we assembled a very large number of musicians and recording engineers and friends of ours to pull it off in December of this past year in Brooklyn at a famous bass player, Matthew Garrison's Shapeshifter Labs. And we recorded 20 musicians in front of a live audience, and we did 2 sets each night for 3 nights.
Because we just found out yesterday that we were number 3 on the iTunes jazz charts behind Esperanza Spalding, who just recently won a Grammy, and Robert Glasper, who's a good friend of ours. So for me, it's and I think for everybody in the band, it's a really cool thing, not just finally becoming visible, but also sharing a high position in the charts with 2 artists who we all feel strongly about musically. It's kind of cool to see like progressive jazz music at the front of the jazz charts, like people who are kind of stretching the boundaries of the norm in that style.
I moved to Texas for like 6 years and moved to Brooklyn in 2006. And you know, there's a lot of great music here, and now most of the guys in the band live here, so we do lots of other projects together with lots of other artists.
So tomorrow we leave our longest tour that we've ever been on. It's 2.5 months, and it's starting with 2 weeks in Europe. Going to England, Scotland, Belgium, and France, which we've never been overseas before, so we're really excited about it. And then we're finishing that up with another 2 months in the United States, going to the West Coast and for the first time. It's an exciting time for us because this new record is doing very well, and so we're going to try to promote it as best we can.
My name is Thomas Varvaro. I'm 22 years old. I'm a dancer with Ailey II, which is the second company to the world-famous Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. This is my first year with the company. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. I've lived in Marine Park my entire life. I've been playing baseball and running around this park. My mother actually introduced me to dance when I was 8 years old. She always thought it would be a good idea for me to channel my energy as a young kid into something very productive, something that I could find a passion for. And she's always encouraged me and motivated me to take the steps necessary to making this my career. I started at a local competition dance school in Marine Park. When I went to junior high school, dance department there introduced me to the scholarship program for the Ailey Athletic Boys Dance Program.
The Ailey School was started by Mr. Alvin Ailey in 1969, and his goal and objective was to give students an opportunity to study several dance techniques under one roof. When young people come to our auditions and boys come here, the first thing they want to do is hip-hop. They don't really see the importance of ballet, especially when they're starting, but it's really, really important, and that's what they should know, that that's the foundation of all dance. The first time I saw Thomas was when he came to the Ailey Athletic Boys program. Thomas came in and he was very serious, I noticed that, very intent, and he was actually one of the boys that always showed up. I also noticed about Thomas is that he was very flexible, even as a little kid, and that's very difficult for boys. Tommy's progression is not typical. He has what it takes. He's been diligent about his work, he's focused, and that's what gets you there. It's not just about being talented, or I can kick my leg up, or I can do this or do that. There's a lot more to it. You've got to be a great individual. You've got to be able to work with people. You've got to be focused. You got to have the drive, the determination. You've got to have a lot more than just the ability to dance. You got to be a great person, and I think that's one of the things that Mr. Ailey fostered here at the Ailey School.
After 11 years of training in professional institutions, I was invited to apprentice for Ailey II, and it was a year of uncertainty. I was given this amazing opportunity, but I also still had to prove myself as an apprentice. So I was teaching myself the repertory, sitting in on rehearsals, until finally in July they offered me a contract full-time to be one of the 12 people that were recognized by Sylvia Waters and Troy Powell, our directors. Was unbelievably humbling. The biggest challenge was getting my body to respond to the movement that I was given. You know, it takes a really long time to discipline the body and learn technique and form and how to combine that with a performance skills. As I got older, the hours started to accumulate. It started out with maybe 2 days a week and ended up at 6 or 7 days a week. Professional dancers usually dance for about 8 hours a day. It's 6 hours of rehearsal, a few breaks, and a warm-up. When I'm performing, we have a warm-up class, then we have a full-out rehearsal of the performance, and then a performance. So it's a lot of dedication and it's a lot of hard work, but it's what I love to do, and it makes it easy. Well, what I love about dance is that it's really a universal language. It's the language of the human body, it's the language of emotion, and everybody from all over the world can relate to dance in some way. Dance really taught me to be who I am and really helped to shape who I am as an adult, and it's been a guiding force in my life that has always been there when I needed it. It's what I love to do, and it definitely has given me a sense of self and a sense of self-strength that is very important to any young man growing up. It's definitely a dream come true. It's something that I've waited for and hoped for my entire life. It kind of feels surreal, like it's going by so fast, and it feels like just yesterday I was starting this process and this journey, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's everything I've hoped it to be and more.
I feel like I'm a bug or something. Like whenever I see, like, especially like peony or dahlia or something blooming fully, I get really sucked into it. And I cannot leave right away. There are many entrances that I got into flowers. My hand always feel comfortable with 5 petals, and then I didn't think really deeply. I liked it because it looks like a maybe star or human-ish. I was given one wall, no ceiling or floor or outside of wall, just one wall. And that was my first mural. Because I was not supposed to paint the ceiling or floor, and I really felt like I want to expand. It's like more like physically. Like I don't know if it's but my body was telling me, or my hand or arm is telling me, whoop. And then since I did the mural, like, oh, why when I look into the galleries, only inside the frame is lit and has painting, but outside it's forgotten. And then I thought the whole space should be taken care of. So, okay, I want to do reversed version. And then I got bored painting. And then, but I still wanted to create similar space without painting. And then I thought of, okay, if I make a flower pattern colorful jacket, and if the whole room reflects, I can recreate. So I made like a flower patterned light, and I also created a like fully mylar covered room, and people can wear it and stand in it, and it reflects. Title is Saba Womb is, this is ideally like umbilical cord. So it's important that's connected, and then you can see yourself. If it's disconnected, you don't see yourself. In the mylar room, it was total darkness. So it's connected, and then you are the core of the space. Someone said, oh, okay, everything is like trippy except the floor. And I'm like, that's right, floor is flat. That's sobering, that's boring. And then I was thinking, what's next? People can be really comfortable and can visually, all like control. And I thought, okay, people should lay down. It should be coffin. This is coffin for the living, small version. And the face of this doll is like the other side of a spoon. So you can see yourself, like same concept as a life-size coffin for the living. By the way, this is my first wood sculpture. I did chiseled. I think it's well done. And I got the chance to collaborate with the people who has the technology. I wanted to make people walk and then flower follows kind of thing. And then made in a couple, like 3-4 different types. Yes, kids were crazy. They didn't stop, and their moms are like waiting, like, and then some kids are really look like they're on something. They're like, inspiration. I don't really know. It just the visual comes into my head. When I'm in a subway thinking, or could be toilet or bathroom, bathtub, something when I'm not really doing anything. The visual comes first. To me, everything is painting. This is painting, that's painting. Even the light thing is painting with light. I was given like 100 roses, like when I was 18 years old or something for my birthday. And then I was looking at the 100 roses, and then not everything blooms. 10 or 5% fully bloom, like crazy, like taking long time And when it's full bloom right before it wither, the color was crazy. Like I saw so many colors in one red roses when it's full bloom right before it's gonna wither. I saw purple, pink, red, everything. And I noticed, okay, there are 100 roses and only like 5 or 10% fully bloom. What about the other flowers? And then if the world is like this, like these roses, am I fully blooming? Is this person could fully bloom before die, or maybe not? So that's my also wish that I want everyone to have like full bloom while they're here.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at bricartsmedia.org/BIT.